Pioneers are getting hydrogen-fueled planes off the ground. Wow, hydrogen planes. As we speak right now, Airbus and Zero Avia are studying how to create hydrogen infrastructure at Canadian airports, namely Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. So, in all this stuff about how best to fit things in together, hydrogen is being targeted for industries that are considered hard or difficult to decarbonize. This is stuff like aeroplanes, trains, ships, and long haul trucks. And I've always liked the idea of ships being powered by hydrogen. I mean, think about it. A ship is a massive structure, these container ships. Then if somehow you can get hydrogen, hydrogen, after that it turns into water, then you have an electrolysis plant. It turns that water back into hydrogen and oxygen and then back into water, have that circle. You could have ships sailing around without never needing refueling, just maintenance, and especially with AI going to be taking things all over the place. Anyway, let's continue with pioneers are getting hydrogen fueled planes off the ground. Zero Avia has already flown hydrogen powered planes and hopes, they retrofit these planes, and it hopes to have a 20-seater on the market in 2 years' time. That's not far away, 2026. Val Miftakov, the founder and CEO, believes that within 15 years, hydrogen-powered planes, jumbo jets, will be flying from San Francisco across continental USA, all across the Atlantic and to London. That's what he's hoping for. So 2026, a 20-seater, 2028, a 60-seater, 2030, an 80-seater, They want to create hydrogen at the airport. I mean, that means, it sounds expensive. It means they'll have to be transporting water to the airport, and then, I don't know, they'll probably figured it out. Instead of doing it at the source, at the water source, and transporting it with trucks, they probably have figured it out, So that's it. And according safety, modern hydrogen safety precautions are extremely top notch. Think hydrogen is not blowing up all over the place. I mean, people got scared with that German thing, the German zip-lip, the airship, the Hindenburg it was called, yeah. So when it blew up, people have been scared for a long time. I mean, it's 2024, It's not like, anyway, planes don't fall off the ground, and it's not like we're not flying, So it's very safe, and hydrogen, there's hydrogen fuel cells, that don't operate at high temperatures. So they're very efficient, And so Zero Avia are retrofitting planes, in a decade, hope to be that planes will be manufactured specifically for hydrogen. I mean, it's not just Airbus and at working on this. In the UAE, you have a company called MADA. It's teaming up with Zero Avia. They're talking supplying hydrogen. The Saudis are working on the same technology. The problem is the infrastructure, pipelines, ships, trucking, stations, especially when it comes to cars. But we're talking about planes. The infrastructure is much easier because you can go to an airport. You don't have to drive, like, say, where you land. You can create the space to create a station, So it looks like hydrogen planes will take off, and hydrogen ships and trucks. Who knows? This it's an interesting story around hydrogen. Something I like. You know, I like the technology around hydrogen. It's nice stuff to read. I mean, it's just fuel cells and batteries. You know, it's all getting to a greener planet. But hydrogen promises to be greener because you can use water. You know, people are planning. Zerovia wants to do it at the airport. They want to use electrolysis, but you know, people had said the next step, you know, if we are being environmentally friendly, instead of using crude oil to create hydrogen, you know, I mean, that's very dirty. We would go on to LNG, you know, and as the technology improves, we get into water, LNG, liquid nitrogen, you know, natural gas, the stuff that pump out of the natural gas, yeah. So LNG was touted about 5-6 years ago as greener than crude oil, and now it's considered brown. You know, I don't know the politics around these things, but I'm just saying it's interesting story. The infrastructure will be for things like ships, planes. Infrastructure is easy because there's a port, you know. Anyhow, that's that.